In a crowded laundromat, a suited customer humiliates an older attendant on camera over a jammed washer. A rideshare driver steps between the lens and her face, pays the man's money out of his own pocket, and misses lucrative rides while kneeling to fix the machine. The surprise is how that single costly choice quietly reshapes the room, the routine, and a few hard weeks ahead without fanfare. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And, hey, where are you tuning in from? Leave your country in the comments. I love seeing how far these stories reach. The lights in SpinCycle hummed like they had all winter. The floor smelled like bleach and wet denim. Marta propped the door with a brick and tucked a wedge of paper into the bell so it would not ring so loud. She moved slow, not lazy slow, just careful. She emptied lint trays like they were tiny snowdrifts. She wiped the glass on a row of front loaders until her breath made clouds and then cleared. She had a blue cardigan with a fuzzy elbow from leaning on the counter. A name tag said Marta in block letters that had lost their shine. I came in with a backpack of towels and a pocket full of quarters. My back still ached from the last airport run. I set my bag on a folding table that wobbled and nodded at her like always. "Morning," I said. She lifted her chin. It was enough. I fed towels to a big machine like it was a hungry mouth. I watched how she wrote the date in the logbook with little flowers in the margins. People came in and stepped around her like she was a mop bucket. They were not mean. They were busy. It was the same most mornings. Steam hid the windows. Cold air nipped in where the door didn't seal right. A kid in dinosaur pajamas chased a sock. A man in a puffy coat fell asleep in a chair and snored like a tiny engine. The machines chugged steady, silver doors spinning clothes into clouds. The man in the suit slammed a palm on the counter. It popped like a clap and made the dinosaur kid look up. The suit was navy and sharp. His hair was sharp too. He smiled without his eyes and then stopped. "This thing ate my money," he said, pointing at washer 9, $4. "Gone." He turned his wrist so his watch flashed. He raised his phone and hit record. "We're live," he said to no one, or to whoever he thought could see him. "This place is a scam. Look at this." He angled the phone toward Marta. "Do you even speak English?" His voice was not loud yet. It was the kind that made your shoulders go up because you knew it would get loud. She kept her voice steady and small. "Sir, I can write a ticket," she said, and she reached for the logbook. "I cannot open the till. The owner, he comes at 9. He will refund you." She said it like she had said it many times. Her hand shook just a little over the page. He leaned on the counter so the plexiglass creaked. "I don't want a ticket," he said. "I want $4. Now, you understand?" He tapped the phone. "Say it to the camera." A little crowd formed, the kind that pretends it isn't. The dinosaur kid's mom pulled him close and shushed him. The sleeping man woke up and blinked. A college guy with a laundry basket cleared his throat loud like a cough. Nobody stepped in. I wiped my hands on my jeans and tasted old coffee in my mouth. "I can give you soap," Marta said. She slid a box to him, her hand low, the way you might feed a stray dog. "On the house, okay." He laughed and raised the phone higher. "Soap," he said. "Great. Are you serious?" He looked around the room, trying to collect faces for his side. "I'm calling the police." I walked over before I decided to. I could feel my morning shift slipping. Airport runs paid best if you caught them early. Rent was due Friday. I stood between his elbow and the counter and said, "Man, washer 9 hates Mondays. Try 7. It was a dumb joke, and it made a tiny smile land and leave on the dinosaur kid. The man turned his phone toward me like a flashlight. "You work here?" "No," I said. "I just wash here." I stepped in front of his phone so the lens only saw my hoodie. "Film me. Leave her face out of it." My heart thumped. It was not fear exactly. More like dread that comes with low gas and a long road. He frowned. "Why?" "Because." I shrugged. "Because." I cracked a paper roll of quarters and counted $8 onto the counter. 4 for the machine, 4 for your time. My quarters made a soft pile that looked like a coin spill in a movie. I did not do math about gas or tips. I did not think about the app that would ding me if I missed one more ride. He stared at the quarters like they might bite. "That's not the point," he said. "It never is," I said. "But you can wash your stuff now." I tapped washer 7. "Go ahead." I kept my body between his lens and her. I did not look at the phone again. His face lost air, like a balloon that found a pin. He lowered the phone first, and then his voice. "Fine," he said. He grabbed the quarters with a hard scrape and jammed them into a slot. He didn't say thanks. He didn't have to. The machine glugged to life and sucked his shirt like a tide. I grabbed my little screwdriver and knelt by the coin slot. "You mind?" I asked Marta, nodding at the panel on 9. "You will get wet," she said. "I'm already damp," I said. I slid the screwdriver in and popped the face with a little click. The suit watched me like I might steal the whole machine. A crumpled token and a clot of gum fell into my palm. I held them up. "There it is," I said. "Chewed up mess." I wiped the gum in a napkin and put the token in a zip bag she had by the register for stuff like that. I fed a test quarter in. It went through smooth. The hum came back. The room found its normal voice again. Hands swished through glass. Dawn crawled up over the brick buildings across the street and made the frost on the window glow. The man in the suit folded his arms and stared at the SpinCycle like it owed him something. When the clothes were wet enough to pin him there, he put the phone in his pocket. "Whatever," he said. He stared everywhere but at Marta, and then he left, bell jangling. No one clapped. It was not that kind of room. She slid a paper cup toward me. "Coffee," she said. My chest felt weird, like I had sprinted, but only inside. She still pushed the cup toward me, her fingernails bright, pink and clean. "From the back," she said. "Not for customers, for staff." She smiled once, small. "You are staff for today." She wrote the service ticket anyway. She put the token in a bag and put the bag in a tin marked jams. When she reached for the service log, her sleeve rode up. A thin beige brace wrapped her wrist. She covered it quick. Her phone on the counter lit up with a picture of a boy in a red soccer jersey, mouth open like he was mid-shout. Next to the picture was a string of text messages. The top one was from a number she had saved as school. It said, "Reminder, 12 p.m. Back in my car, my phone buzzed with a missed ride. Then another. A red banner blinked. "Penalty applied. $15." I rubbed my eyes and looked at the gas needle. It squatted near E. In the glove box, a parking ticket curled like a dead leaf. "Rent due by Friday" glowed in my head like a neon sign. I started the engine anyway and let the heater wheeze. My towels were clean at least. I tried not to count the quarters I didn't have anymore. I went back the next morning and the morning after. I kept my head down and my roll of coins light. Marta and I did not talk about what happened. We did not need to. She put a small bag of dryer sheets on the counter each time I came in and slid it toward me like a secret. By Thursday, there was a jar by the register. A label in neat blue ink letters said, "Community Roll." Inside were quarters and a folded 5. A teenage boy in a burgundy hoodie dropped in 2 coins, cheeks pink. "In case a machine gets hungry," he said to nobody and everybody. People started writing things under their names when they signed the log. 9 fixed, someone wrote in pencil. "Thanks." 17 slow, someone else wrote. "No big deal." The tone changed. Quiet leaned toward kind. A week later, the owner came with a man in dusty boots. They opened the backs of the machines and shook their heads in human sync. The boots guy installed new coin tracks. He told Marta how to clear them without taking off the whole face. The owner put a sign on the door in English and Spanish that said, "If a machine eats your money, see the counter. We got you." He didn't mention the jar. He didn't need to. He nodded at it once and left it there. On Sunday, a flyer bloomed on the corkboard. "Free cleat swap," it said in block letters. Under it, 3 pairs of small soccer shoes sat in a row on the chair by the dryer. The dinosaur kid's mom pinned up a 4th pair with a safety pin. "He outgrew them overnight," she said, half laugh, half sigh. Marta taped a gallon bag under the flyer for laces and wrote laces with a heart she pretended wasn't there. One morning, a stranger slid into my back seat. He smelled like a fedora and newspapers. "You the guy from SpinCycle?" he asked. "I wash there," I said, checking the name on the app. He nodded to himself. "My wife saw you block that phone with your chest," he said. "Said you saved that woman's job." "I have early runs every week. Same time. Good tipper," he was. It helped. Not everything, but enough to feel like breathing fresh air after a long tunnel. Twice, the man in the suit came back. He did not look at me. He did not raise his phone. He fed the machines and stood by the window and checked his watch. Once, when the counter was busy, he put a quarter in the community roll jar. He did it quick, like he was tying his shoe. None of it was big on paper. A jar, a sign, a little toolbox someone left under the counter with a note that said, "Use me." A pair of hands that stopped shaking when the bell rang. The room felt different, though. The bell sounded less sharp. Even the hum had a softer edge. I didn't fix much. I fixed a jam. I gave up a morning's money. My app still sent me red banners sometimes. My car still needed tires. Rent still came due, but I kept seeing the way the room shifted after those quarters hit the counter. How people in a hurry made space for a stroller. How the teenage boy held the door for the man with the puffy coat. How Marta's shoulders sat lower on her frame, like she had set down a load you could not see. I thought about the token I pulled out of the machine, chewed and bent, clogging everything. I thought about the way gunk hides in narrow places, how it only takes one steady tool and a little time to pry it loose so things can move again. Some days I still got it wrong. I kept my head down when I should have lifted it. I counted quarters too much, but I carried the screwdriver in my pocket and the picture of the jar in my head. Sun through the front window lit the jar of quarters. The coins threw back little circles of light on the counter. The washers turned and turned, water patting clothes in a steady beat. On the corkboard, a child's drawing of a shoe with wings flapped gently when the door opened. Marta wrote the date in the log and smiled at nothing in particular. Outside, the frost on the brick let go, and the day began.